Let's go to the money desk. Devan Murugan joining us once more. Hi, Devan. So we're getting over the bad news about the petrol price increase, and you've come through with some good news because it's a bit of a mining bonanza at the moment, isn't it?
It is, and we've got some fantastic, very welcome contributions on the tax front to the coffers. Something really, really welcome at the moment. So tax revenue from South Africa's high-flying mining industry has come a long way to boost the fiscus. In fact, it underpinned the almost 39 billion rand support package announced by the Finance Minister Tito Mboweni last week to support lockdown and riots-affected businesses. Gross government tax revenue amounted to 377 billion rand for the April to June period this year. That's a 19% increase for the same period in 2019. Now, Economist Hugo Pienaar is with the Bureau for Economic Research. He joins us now. Hugo, thanks very much indeed for talking to us. I mean, one just has to look at Anglo American Platinum, just one mining company paying under 17 billion rand to the fiscus through taxes in the first half of the year. Well, that's half of the support package by government announced last week, isn't it?
That's right. And of course, Anglo American Platinum is only one of several mining houses. You look at Kumba Iron Ore, for example, but all of them, all of our major mining companies are going to report very strong financial results. And as a result of that, strong corporate tax or mining tax revenue for the fiscus.
And then there's the question, though, on whether or not this is sustainable. I mean, commodity cycles come and go. We need a tax-generating economy all round if we're going to sustain any programs, don't we?
I couldn't agree more. So you're 100% right. I mean, historically, when it goes well in the mining sector, it goes very well, and they make these sort of super profits. But it is very much a cyclical industry, so it's a very dangerous thing to base structural or long-term expenditure programs, government expenditure programs, on short-term cyclical revenue. Now, I'm not saying that's what Treasury is doing, but it is just a warning shot that for this year we are okay. We can finance this additional expenditure, but it's certainly not clear that next year or the year after that, it will be the same story. And as you say, we desperately need to get the non-mining side of the economy performing better so that we have more sustainable revenue generating capacity in this economy.
Hugo, you mentioned government programs, and I need not tell you one of the big topics at the moment is this basic income grant. And when you're looking at a program such as that, affordability then becomes a huge question, doesn't it? Despite the humanitarian calls to have one. So if we make a decision in an environment where we see this windfall coming in from the miners, it might not really be the best way to go as far as a decision is concerned.
Yeah, I'm probably going to repeat myself now, but I mean, certainly in the current environment, we're in the COVID recovery. Of course, lots of people are struggling. Well, even before COVID, of course, we had very high unemployment rates. Now, of course, it's even worse. So, I mean, there's very much an argument to make currently to have additional temporary social grant support. But it's not clear that that is sustainable. So what you need is to, over time, to continue to finance that. Again, you need an economy that grows at a faster pace and that is able to generate the revenue to be able to afford this additional support for the poor, which is, again, very much needed at this stage.
Now, indeed it is. But, Hugo, I see there are some calls from certain quarters to hit mining companies with a further social tax, if you like, given their high-flying performance. What's your take on that?
No, I think that would be a very bad idea. I mean, already at this stage, the mining sector is in South Africa in particular, but globally, they are not necessarily investing these super profits. They are paying it out in dividends, for example. And if you further increase the tax burden on these companies, you're just going to see even less investment into new projects. And of course, we need new investment for new job creation in the mining sector. The corporate tax rate in South Africa is 28%. Now, of course, besides that, the mining sector already pays additional mining royalties on top of that. So the tax burden of the mining sector in South Africa, you could argue, is already more prohibitive than other sectors of the economy. So no, I would strongly advise against that. And again, remember, this is a cyclical sector, so these profits are not going to last forever. So there's no point of slapping additional taxes on now. Come 2 years down the line, these companies are not making these sort of profits, so it doesn't really benefit you then over the long term.
All right, Hugo Pienaar, an economist for the Bureau for Economic Research. Thanks indeed for your time. All right.